Hi, I came on here to tell you that you are important, that everything you have in your soul is important, that there are people that want you here, there are people that need you here, the earth needs you here. I know we lost another person today to suicide. Mental illness is everywhere, and it all comes down to kindness. I don't see anybody being kind anymore. And I don't know what happened along the way. I don't know why people stopped being kind. I don't know what it takes to get people to be kind again. I have struggled with my own mental illness for a long time. There's been a few times that I've wanted to go to sleep and not wake up. But I know there are people here that love me, and I have 2 children that suffer from mental illness as well. One of them with suicidal ideations. And I struggle with that every day. I can't imagine waking up and not having that child here with me that I grew, gave birth to, raised, but I can't change the way anyone feels inside. So people feel lonely, and loneliness is one of the most horrific feelings there is. As humans, we are social beings, and this social media can be such a great thing, bring people together, but it can also be a thing that makes people be apart. You know, I can't sit here and say that I don't look at other people's things and not become jealous or envious sometimes of things that other people have. You know, their children are doing these wonderful things. My children are struggling with mental illness. Seeing successes of other people. We're only human, and those are human feelings. But I need to take myself away from that sometimes, because if you just ruminate over it and just look at it, nobody's life is perfect, and everybody deals with their stuff in their own way. But I think what's bothering me the most is I just recently had my daughter's graduation, and I think it's awesome and special when you have valedictorians and, you know, these speeches about these kids that have done wonderful things. That's great. But here's where it gets me. What about the kids that struggled through high school? What about the kids that didn't make it? What about the kids that wake up every day and vomit or sick to their stomach just the thought of being in high school because they have no friends? What about my daughter was telling me that she was standing in line graduation and she didn't even want to walk because she was standing there and she looked all around her and everybody had friends and everybody had people running up to them. Hi, hey, I love you. Oh my God, I can't believe it's our day. And she said, Mom, I didn't have anybody. High school sucked for her, But you know what? She persevered, and after a mental illness diagnosis, 2 inpatient hospitalizations, 1 outpatient hospitalization, suicidal ideations, that girl walked the stage. She almost left, but she walked it. And that's brave. She did it anyway. And you know, part of me was really sad because listening to the speeches of all the successes of this, great girl that did this great stuff, I felt sad because I was like, what about my daughter? What about my child? That I was fearful if she would even wake up every day because I was afraid she was going to hurt herself or not be here with us. What about her who felt like she had no friends? Why did she feel like she had no friends? Why? What are we doing in these schools every day? They're there for 6 hours. We need more interventions of practicing kindness. We say, don't bully, don't bully. Oh, this is a bully, he's a bully, she's a bully. You're bullying me, he's bullying me, he's me bullying, she's bullying. All these people betraying other people, talking behind other people's backs. I remember what high school was like. I'm not stupid. But what's missing today is that I don't feel like it was missing back then. Or maybe it was and we just didn't know. But what I feel like missing today is someone to come up to you and be like, hey, how are you doing today? My dream job, because I gotta make money, right? I wish I didn't, but I do. My dream job would be to go to schools and speak and train teachers, educators, people that deal with these kids every day, and mostly middle school and high school. Instead of saying stop bullying, how about say, I'm going to teach you how to be kind. I'm going to teach you kindness. Because when you say to a child, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing that, stop that, it's in their nature to do the opposite. So instead of saying stop doing this, how about we say, let me teach you how to be kind. And I'm not blaming parents, and I'm not blaming teachers, and this is not about blame. This is about intervention and bringing awareness to the problem that's out there. I've been by these high schools, and these kids are mean. They're cruel, and they're vicious. And I've seen it firsthand with my daughter, with my kids. I've been in it. And it's a different kind of meanness. I don't understand it. I was called every name in the book when I was in high school. I went to one high school for 2 years. I had to leave. I went to another high school for 2 years. Graduated from that high school. Didn't know anybody. I was an outcast, just like my daughter. Standing in line, I had maybe 2 or 3 kids that were like, hey, what's up? Yeah, we did it. But I wasn't part of those circles. I wasn't part of those cliques. And I know how much that hurts your heart when you're not. But that doesn't mean you're any less worthy than them. I would love to go into a school and look for that girl that's leaning up against the wall with her hair dyed purple and her boots with red laces and whatever. That's a little different. And say to her, you know what, girl? You just need you. You do you, boo, because that's important. And tell them that they are worthy. They are to be there. This is their time, and you need to run with it. I have dealt with such cruelty these past 4 years of my daughter in high school. I was so thankful for her to be out of high school because now she gets to live her life the way she wants it. She gets to choose who she gets to be around. She gets to choose whose sunshine to stand in. She is in charge of her life. And you know what? It's too bad that the past 4 years was not her choice. Kids gotta go to school. People have to go to school. But when you have such toxic environments, not teaching these children anything, how important is it to push ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, people, if you can't even be kind? I don't understand it. Find somebody. The schools need some sensitivity training. I don't know about the other cities, but the city that I'm in, it's tough. Putting both my kids through the city school system sucked. It was the worst experience of my entire adulthood. And if I could have had the means to keep them home and teach them myself, if I wasn't struggling with my own mental illness, I would have. Because I honestly feel that they are not better off with the education that they received. Therapeutic it was not. That's for sure. And I'm a little salty about it. But you know what? We're strong and we got through it. But the point was, why did we have to fight? And it's not fair. Life's not fair. I get it. But it's not fair that my beautiful child, both my children, had to suffer through these high school years and nobody recognized them. Something that my daughter loved, she had to give it up. Why? Because there was a bully in her class and he made her feel like a piece of crap. So she left. And she spent the last few months of her senior year at home finishing up her last credit. That's not how I want my child to have her last year in high school. The last few months. That's not it. That's sad, people. And I lived it. I lived it my own, and I lived it again. I wanted my daughter to have an experience that was beautiful. She did not. And I can't give her those years back. I can't give her those years back. And it makes me angry. It makes me angry when my daughter calls me up crying because somebody made fun of the way she looks or somebody called her a name that was unacceptable and nobody did anything about it. And it makes me upset that I'm teaching and pushing kindness and compassion and tolerance and no one else seems to be doing the same thing. Why are we not all on the same page here, people? Why? We need to find out why. I deal with my own mental illness, my son's mental illness, my daughter's mental illness. I work in the mental illness field. I see children as young as 4 and as old as 18. And I've seen the whole gamut of what mental illness can do to a family, what it can do to a community, what it can do to an individual. We have a long way to go, folks. And I know this video is a little bit everywhere, but I'm just, man, when I heard about Anthony Bourdain today, I was like, done. I mean, when I heard about Robin Williams, what was that, like 3 years ago? I was pretty much done then. So when I heard today, after the designer, I didn't really know who she was. Obviously, I don't know Anthony Bourdain personally, but I was done. I was like, listen, we need to be radical. We need these politicians to implement systems for our mentally ill people. But it comes down to a lot of things. It comes down to jobs. It comes down to what the country allows a mom to take after she has a baby. It comes down to healthcare. It comes down. But you know what? Even all that bullshit aside, it really comes down to why can't you just be nice? Why can't you just be nice? I don't understand. That's what it comes down to. And I'm going to tell you right now, I told my husband, I was like, listen, I need to make a difference. I'm going to make an impact on this world. And I honestly believe all my life that mental illness has been my calling. Helping people with mental illness. I love people. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot in the past few, I would say in the past 6-ish years. I've learned probably more in the last 6-ish years than I did like my whole adulthood. The last 6 years was the most pivotal. And I don't really know what happened in my brain that made it so pivotal, but I think it's important. And I know this video is long ass shit right here, but it's real. And the point is, I don't want to hear about no more people. I don't want to hear about no more people dying, because there ain't no reason. You go out and you help somebody. You go out and you help them mow their lawn. You go out and you help that lady with her bags. You go ask a mama whose baby's crying in a carriage, be like, is there something I can do for you? You make that baby smile so that mom can get 5 minutes of peace. Man, do something. Buy a coffee for somebody. Help somebody on the street. If you're not in the helping profession, because I mean some people are just not cut out for that shit, that's fine. But you can be kind to your fellow man, and you can raise children that are compassionate, tolerant, and accepting. That's all you have to do. Because that will be the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation. I just can't hear it anymore. Be kind. I need to go into high school with these kids and tell them, man, this is the most fantastic, beautiful time of your life. You ain't got no bills. You got friendship and fun. And shame on the kids that don't take the time to see other kids not being included. You know? Like, man. And my kids are angels. I have one, he's kind of mean. Here's the thing. He's got special needs, and he was a bully, and he was bullied. So he's been on both ends of the spectrum. So he was a bully, which I shot that shit down real fast, right? And he was also bullied because of his special needs. So people can't say, oh, you don't know what it's like. I know what it's like. I know what it's like from this side. I know what it's like from this side. And so does he. So I can't change who he is. But when he says mean things, I'm like, dude, don't you remember when that happened before and that person said that to you? I'm like, well, how did that make you feel? Oh, it made me feel like shit. Well, we don't say those things. No, thank you. And I just want people to be nice, man. I really just want people to be nice. That's it. Just stop it. Just stop. And be nice. Please.